Coming up on OU Nightly, it may be 700 miles away, but we're tracking your next chance for snow for your Super Bowl Sunday. I'll have all the details.
And preparations are underway across the state ahead of winter weather. What you need to know. Plus, our Big Friday sports team breaks down which former Sooners will take the field on Super Bowl Sunday. This is OU Nightly. We are days away from the next taste of winter weather for parts of Oklahoma. Good evening, I'm Stone Weber.
And I'm Arlen Fitzer. Your campus weather authority is tracking the latest changes with the storm.
Let's get right over to OU Nightly meteorologist Chloe Arroyo. Chloe?
Thanks, guys. We have a chance for snow into your Sunday afternoon, into the evening, your Super Bowl Sunday to be specific, and we've already started to ramp up with these alerts. We have winter weather watches across our western counties. I can see in the next couple of hours to the next 24 hours or so, extending that into central portions of Oklahoma. But our temperatures right now above average compared to what we've seen. OU Nightly meteorologist Drake Foley is outside enjoying that sunshine, but also here to give you some safety tips for your winter weather. Drake, what are you seeing?
Yeah, so right now we're seeing that though we could get snowfall totals up to 4 to 8 inches in western Oklahoma. Here in the metro, not as much. We could see anywhere from trace to 2 inches. But that doesn't mean you don't need to prepare. As you can see, I'm standing right next to my beautiful blue car, and I have raised those windshield wipers up because I know it's going to snow, and that heavy, wet snow, not nice. And I also have a beautiful tool with me called a snow brush. It helps you get all that snow off your windshield so you can drive safely to your Super Bowl party on Sunday. Chloe, back to you.
Thank you very much, Drake. Now, coming up in a bit, we're going to talk more about the timeline of your Super Bowl Sunday and the snow that we could see on Sunday afternoon, as well as the moisture breakdown and warmer temperatures, where we'll return pretty soon here. Coming up in a bit.
Thanks, Chloe. Crews are working around the clock to prepare the roads for the snow. OU Nightly's CD Finley joins us live from Lindsay Street.
Yeah, that's right. The Oklahoma Department of Transportation is already preparing ahead of the potential for winter weather this weekend. A salt and sand mixture can already be seen covering busy roadways such as Highway 9 and Interstate 35. And with rain expected to come before the winter mix, ODOT is being selective with their pre-treatment. However, they are still keeping a close eye on the situation.
Our crews statewide are just keeping an eye on what time it looks like it's going to roll into their areas.
ODOT also says that they are going to have trucks at the ready as needed this weekend. Reporting in Norman, CD Finley, OU Nightly.
Thanks for the update, CD, and we are following a developing story.
Check out this video from our partners at News 9. There was a large police response at the OU College of Dentistry in OKC early this afternoon.
The OU Health Sciences Center tells OU Nightly the response was a false alarm. And here on our campus, some students are uneasy after suspicious interactions they've had in Norman.
OU Nightly's Sydney Price tells us what police say you should do in this situation.
It was when I noticed that his story was not adding up, because first he said he was looking for his hip-hop class, and then he said he was just down here visiting a friend, and that's what set the warning bells off.
Katie Hallam, a senior at OU, was walking to her ballet class at the Fine Arts Center when a man began following her to class and asking her personal questions. Katie quickly realized the man was not a student and waited by the second entrance to her class while he walked inside the classroom until the instructor arrived.
And I think that's a big issue is these people are posing as they just should be on campus, so you don't really think anything of it other than the fact it was just a weird interaction. And then when you start really thinking about it, you go, oh, that was not supposed to happen to me.
Lauren Brand, another OU senior, was caught in a similar situation when approached by a man while shopping at a local Walmart who was trying to get her to leave with him.
I didn't think that would, happen to me. You hear about it happening to everybody else, but you really don't think something like that could happen to you.
Cleveland County Sheriff Chris Ameson says to always trust your gut and to report anything that seems suspicious, while Norman Police Department suggests to keep a safe distance and notify law enforcement if the individual's behavior causes concern. OU also provides resources for students to use like SafeRide and SafeWalk. Students are also allowed to carry a taser and/or mace as long as it is being used for self-defense. Sydney Price, OU Nightly.
And if you are walking alone on campus, you can ask OU Police to accompany you to your location by calling 325-WALK.
Heads up for drivers, some roads in downtown Norman will be closed ahead of the Norman Mardi Gras parade this weekend. Parts of Main and Comanche Streets plus Jones and Crawford Avenues will be affected. Norman Police says the roads will be closed tomorrow night from 6:30 to 8:30.
And Vice President Kamala Harris steps in to defend President Joe Biden.
The special report she's calling out when we return.
Plus, the largest team of collegiate meteorologists is hard at work tracking the winter storm.
Chloe's full forecast is just 5 minutes away. Stay with us.
My baby's back from the West Coast.
Here are those pictures that you asked for your school project? First day of school, cute as a button.
So long ago.
Oh, here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Those beans smell heavenly.
Give Mom a little credit.
You know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year.
Oh,
Great idea.
At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with the link.
Okay.
Smart.
I'm coming to share with you guys.
Protect your legacy. Plan for natural disasters today. Visit ready.gov/plan.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Strong earthquake off the coast of Hawaii shakes residents this afternoon. Rachel Mosshammer has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
Hawaii was struck with a strong earthquake near Pahala earlier this afternoon. A 5.7 magnitude earthquake was reportedly felt in Honolulu on the island of Oahu, nearly 200 miles away from the epicenter. The governor of Hawaii says that there is no tsunami threat at this time. Cleanup is underway today in Wisconsin after historic severe storms slammed the Midwest overnight. The first February tornado to ever hit Wisconsin was reported last night as storms moved through. No fatalities have been reported. However, significant damage remains widespread. The storms follow after the region experienced record heat this week.
The comments that were made by that prosecutor, gratuitous, inaccurate, and inappropriate.
President Kamala Harris defended President Joe Biden after special counsel reports regarding classified documents. Harris called the report politically motivated and criticized prosecutor Robert Hur's comments on Biden's mental state. The White House says it won't rule out releasing the redacted transcript of Biden's interview with Hur. President Biden met with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz today in Washington, D.C. to discuss getting aid to Ukraine. Stone, Ireland.
Thanks, Rachel. And coming up on OU Nightly, find out how many Sooners are competing in the big game this Sunday.
Big Friday Sports will tell you what OU products look to shine bright in Las Vegas.
Plus, we're tracking a snowy Super Bowl Sunday. I have the full forecast and more coming up next.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, if your shower can fill a 1-gallon bucket in less than 20 seconds, replace the shower head with a water-efficient one. They are cheap, easy to install, and can save you up to 750 gallons a month. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Well, thanks for joining us on this Friday afternoon. We're tracking the chance for snow for your Super Bowl Sunday, and here's really where it is right now. We see this a lot further off to our west, a good 700 miles away from Oklahoma here in Norman. So we're still far away from the event itself, but it's only 2 days away, and we're already seeing winter weather alerts in effect. For western portions of Oklahoma, here are winter weather watches. You can see this really pushing into central Oklahoma in the next day or so, and that will continue to extend further east as this continues to persist. Now, we've seen plenty of models, and this could change as we head into, and it possibly more than likely will change heading into this weekend. But here's a look right now of what we're tracking. Your futurecast will see a little bit of some scattered showers throughout your Saturday afternoon into the evening. Then that rain is going to pick up on early Sunday morning. That's going to transition into snow and very wet snow because of that rainfall transitioning into the snowfall. But also our ground temperatures are too warm for any type of really freezing or dry or snow. So here's a look at your highs on Sunday. 40 degrees for Norman, 40 degrees for Oklahoma City as well. So we're well above freezing, and even Sunday morning will only be close to that freezing range. We won't be cold by any means, so that can really affect the amount of accumulation that we can expect to see. Slick roads and school closings are a possibility for your Monday morning. Power outages, I really wouldn't take that into consideration too much because we don't have the significant chance for ice. This is more so of a snow event, so power outages at a minimum. Here's a look at your snow totals for Cleveland County. We can see anywhere from a trace to an inch to up to 2 inches for localized areas, but really what's the most prominent area is western Oklahoma, Elk City. You can see anywhere from 4 to 8 inches. That's a possibility. Now, like I said, as before, our models could shift as we head into Saturday and Sunday, so keep aware of that. But here's what we know so far. Wet snow accumulation will vary, especially into central Oklahoma, but that snow will melt relatively quick because of those ground temperatures staying relatively warm or at least above freezing. So keep that in mind for your Sunday as well as your Monday. Travel impacts, still stay cautious, but nothing compared to what we saw from that ice storm just a couple weeks ago. Here's a look at Campus Cam right now. We are pretty clear and we're pretty above average right now. 64 degrees for your temperatures. We're dry, but that's not going to last very long for the rest of your 7-day forecast. We'll see those temperatures cool down, and that's when we'll see somewhat temperatures suitable for winter weather on Sunday. Lots of precipitation either way, whether it's rain or snow or rain transitioning into snow, and then we'll warm back up into the 50s and eventually the 60s.
So Chloe, what is your advice on heading to those Super Bowl plans, or maybe any tips?
I would say the safer the better. You know, you're better safe than sorry, so try to stay put where you are as much as possible. If you're somewhere for a watch party, I would keep that in mind as you're traveling home. So keep that in mind, stay home as much as you possibly can. So
perfect. Thanks for the update, Chloe. Now tomorrow night, the Oklahoma State Cowboys ride into Norman for a bedlam battle against the Sooners.
A live report on how Oklahoma basketball will honor a country music legend. That's next on Big Friday Sports.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. I'm Kaylee Carnine.
And I'm Abby Williams. With Oklahoma taking its Big 12 farewell tour this season, some rivalry games may come to an end. There's still hope for the future of Bedlam for basketball, even with OU finishing up their final season in the Big 12 and moving to the SEC. Head coach Porter Moser shared today that this chapter might not be closing quite yet.
It's been a lot to the state, and it's been a rivalry. You know, there'll be a lot of things semantic-wise to go, you know, can it get done? But why not for the future? Why, I think it's something I'm not against. I don't think he's against. It's just figuring it out. I think that's going to be the biggest key is that. But it's been a meaningful thing for the state in all sports. So I don't know why not.
And not only is Bedlam a historical rivalry to the state, but Toby Keith is also a historical icon to Oklahoma as well.
Now it's been a couple days and still those emotions are, you know, it's awesome to see the whole world reflecting. The amount of different areas of outreach that are celebrating his life. That is a legacy, and we'll be celebrating that tomorrow here at the arena as well. And as far as I'm concerned, I'll be celebrating that legacy a long time, not just tomorrow.
Tomorrow night at 6, Sooner Nation, let's have a party in celebration of Toby Keith's life. Raise your red Solo cup to not only Toby Keith, but possibly the final Bedlam in Norman. And while the men battle in Bedlam, OU women's basketball aim for an 8th straight win in Ames against Iowa State. The number 24 Sooners are leading the Big 12 in assists per game and turnovers per game with 12. Head coach Jenny Baranczyk talks about the key to the growth of her team this season.
The nice thing, too, is they all are very different, you know, so you got to play to them differently. And I think that's where this team, you know, and Vea kind of alluded to that even with Peyton, where it's more of you got to learn each other's games and you got to learn each other's strengths. And that took us a long time to be able to do. And I think we're starting to really see that and put each other in good positions.
The three-peat NCAA softball champs are in Mexico, opening their 2024 season. OU Nightly's Addison Arthur tells us what Patty Gasso and her squad think about the challenges this season brings.
It is softball time in Oklahoma, and Patty Gasso and some of her players had their first press conference of the season. But one thing stood out. Can this team go back to back to back and win another national championship?
Winning 4 in a row is unheard of. Unheard of. You can't even wrap your mind around it, even winning 3. And so for them, they want to be a team that did something that maybe nobody in maybe my lifetime will ever do on the softball field again.
Not really trying to look too far in the future. I know that can get you in trouble, but it's exciting, it's fun. I'm excited for this season, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Just want to enjoy where I'm at now and enjoy my seniors.
In the end, like the accolades and the trophies, they're temporary. And I think for a lot of us, our purpose is not just to win, it's to glorify the Lord. And I think when you focus on the outcomes in the end, when it's already written, that's when you can get out like beside yourself. So we just have a team collective idea that it's already written. We don't need to press and be anything we're not and get complacent or have anything jumping ahead. We just know exactly what the Lord has in store for us.
And something exciting happening for this team is being built right behind me here. Love's Field is supposed to be ready by March 1st, so this team will have a brand new field to play on. Reporting from Loves Field, Addison Arthur, Sooner Sports Pad.
And OU baseball is almost back at L. Dell Mitchell Park for one last ride in the Big 12. Skip Johnson's offense is returning 7 starters this season, and they're stepping up to the plate to make it to the tournament for the 3rd straight season.
The biggest thing is having confidence for everybody. Last year it just seemed like, we had a pretty solid year, but I mean the year before that it just seemed like everybody was clicking, and no matter what, like if somebody struggled, then we were like, hey, we're gonna pick you up, you know what I mean? And so I think just being able to have that confidence in your teammates and friends and players that are around you is the biggest thing.
Vaulting over to the Lloyd Noble Center, the #1 ranked women's gymnastics squad hosts a quad meet tonight at 6:45. They welcome Big 12 newcomer BYU, Texas Women's University, and Utah State. While the Sooners stay on top, head coach KJ Kindler knows preparation is key.
Really dialing in on our warm-up. We believe that our warm-up prepares us well for, being at our best when we compete. Definitely helps their confidence knowing that they have good reps under their belt during warm-up. Just kind of, it's like dressing for success. You want to have a great warm-up so that you can feel, 100% confident when you walk out there. That's definitely one of our focal points. But again, like I said, hitting all 4 events.
And flipping into McCaslin Fieldhouse, OU men's gymnastics looks to claw the Cal Bears tomorrow at home. Watch out for Sooner Colin Flores, the College Gymnastics Association's Rookie of the Week. He's one of the only 2 gymnasts nationally to score over 80 in the all-around twice this season.
Over to the mat, tonight is senior night for the 23rd ranked OU wrestling team. They welcome number 12 South Dakota State in McCaslin Fieldhouse at 7. In the 197-pound weight class, OU senior Stephen Buchanan is ranked number 2, and SDSU's Tanner Sloan is number 6.
And today, OU track is looking to blow away the competition at the Windy City Invite in Chicago. Junior Olivia Luking, the pole vault queen, continues to impress. Last week, she won the Charlie Thomas Invite, posting the number 5 jump in the NCAA. And 8 other Sooners are currently individually ranked in the top 15.
There's nothing like teeing off in paradise, except this trip is no vacation. The number 15 ranked OU men's golf team heads to Puerto Rico for the Puerto Rico Classic Tournament, where they'll be Sunday through Tuesday.
This weekend, the men's tennis team's swinging into the Sunshine State, facing off against the Florida State Seminoles. On the road, the Sooners are 1-1 after trampling Tulsa last week. 3 Sooners are now ranked in singles in the ITA rankings.
Coming up on Big Friday Sports, we're talking about some former Sooners who are making big moves in the pros.
And several Sooners are taking some Sooner magic to the greatest football game of the year.
If you're feeling sad.
Thanks for hearing me out, bro.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care can keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. We gave you all the news for Sooner sports. Now here's everything you need to know about what's going on in the pros.
The OKC Thunder gallop into Dallas to play the Dallas Mavericks tomorrow at 3. The last time the two met, OKC struck down the Mavs, winning 126-120. But the Mavericks are moving with momentum, winning their last 3 games on the road. One game separates the top 4 seeds in the West, with the Thunder currently sitting at 3rd.
And with the NBA trade deadline passed, some rosters are looking a little different. Oklahoma City acquired Gordon Hayward from Charlotte and sent out guard Trey Mann and forward Davis Bertans. Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault talks about how he thinks Hayward will fit into the team dynamic.
It's just, more versatility, similar to a lot of the guys that we already have, which allows us to be flexible and use him and everybody else in a lot of different ways. So we'll learn him. We're not in a rush to do anything right now. We'll figure out his game, figure out how he fits in, but we're certainly excited about him.
Last night, former Sooner Austin Reaves and the LA Lakers played the Denver Nuggets at home. Reaves led the team with 10 assists and also racked up 15 points, but it was a gold rush for the Nuggets, beating the Lakers and burying their 3-game winning streak, winning 114-106. Now LA looks to bounce back against the Pelicans tonight at 9:30.
And another former Sooner star is shining bright in the pros. Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks flock to Philadelphia tonight to take on the 76ers. Young has been on a hot streak lately. Last week, the Norman native was named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week and was added to the NBA All-Star team as an injury replacement.
And the biggest football weekend of the year is here, with 6 Sooners seeking a Super Bowl win. The seasoned Kansas City Chiefs look for back-to-back Super Bowl wins, but Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have to watch out for the San Francisco 49ers firepower. Defensive end Nick Bosa had 2 sacks in the NFC title game. He'll be a challenge for the Chiefs offense, but Patrick Mahomes has thrown for 519 yards and 2 touchdowns in the postseason with just 1 interception.
There are quite a few OU alumni playing in the big game this year, but the NFL honors didn't award any former Sooners Thursday night. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson won the MVP race in a landslide. Texans C.J. Stroud took home Offensive Rookie of the Year, and the NFL Coach of the Year is Browns' Kevin Stefanski.
From one gridiron to the next, these wide retrievers are looking to fetch the Lombardi Trophy. Team Fluff facing Team Rough.
Now, I don't think these little guys could catch much on the field, but I think we might see a few roughing the passer calls in this game.
That was a good one, Abby. I've got an old dog, so I know he definitely wouldn't be doing so hot in this this puppy dog challenge for sure.
I agree. I'm going to have to go with Team Rough for this one. I don't know about you, Kaylee.
I like Team Fluff. I'm taking Team Fluff.
Thanks for watching Big Friday Sports. I'm Abby Williams.
And I'm Kaylee Carnine. Have a great Super Bowl weekend.
Winter is upon us, and every Oklahoman